Welcome to the Whitelines 100. This is the Nidecker Supermatic, and I'll go into the product details in a second, but before we do, we're going to give some context with a history lesson because I think it could be quite useful. So Nidecker was started in 1887 by Henry I. Yes, it's a dynasty. He started making farming equipment on the shores of Lake Geneva. Fast forward to 1946, they're making skis, and they're the first brand to blend two different types of wood in the core of a ski, ash and hickory. By 1984, Henry IV, yeah, we're still going with the Henrys, has set up Nidecker snowboards, 50 boards in the first range. By 2008, Cedric, Xavier and Henry V, the three brothers, have set up the Nidecker Group, and today they're one of the biggest manufacturers of snowboarding equipment in the world. So why is this product so important? Well, it goes toe to toe with the daddy of all snowboard brands, Burton. Nidecker and Burton are the only two companies making step-in bindings. Now, step-in isn't for everyone. It's about compromising performance to get more convenience. It's a contentious market in snowboarding, but there is still a market for it. And Nidecker have switched it up on its head. The Burton system doesn't have classic straps. Instead, you have a proprietary boot and binding setup. With the Nidecker, the big difference is having these straps with a lever that releases and gives you a heel stirrup to step into. Is it going to be better? That's the big question.
Here we go. See how easy I can slide into these. Oh yeah. Now the back foot. Yeah. There we go. That was easy.
Real life.
Woo. Now a little ollie. Woo. Oh yeah. I think this wants to go.
Always long awaited a verdict on the step-in systems, mainly because there are only two viable systems on the market. There's the Burton and then there's the Nidecker Supermatic. Nidecker, in their description, take a little dig at Burton with this, the world's first automatic binding that works with any boot. Because the Burton system is proprietary. You've got that big nub sticking out the back of the boot, and that stops you from using a Burton step-on boot with any other set of bindings. These, on the other hand, they've got elements of a traditional strap binding, but then you've got the step-in mechanism. So arguably it gives you the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I definitely felt that. Like, it takes a little bit of time to get these straps fitted on your boot correctly so that it'll work really well. But once you get everything sort of tailored to your boot, it's so easy to get in and out. And then once you're in, you really can't tell. Like, I just didn't even think about them being step-ins anymore once I started riding.
And that was proved no more clearly than that pipe run you pulled off. That was amazing.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, no, like, honestly, as soon as I dropped in, I stopped thinking about it. I didn't even think about the way that I got in and out of bindings. It felt like a traditional sort of high-performance binding, and didn't feel unstable under my feet. Had a bit of forward lean on it, and the high backs felt good, and yeah, it was all good.
One of the things I really like that's worth checking out, you've got these little switches on the top of the ratchets here. You click those down once you've got the bindings in the position you want, and then it's locked out for the day.
Yeah, and you're good to go. And
you used them a bit for coaching, didn't you? And you said that as soon as you've got that agenda and you need to be moving quickly, they worked really well in that sense.
Yeah, super. When you got a bunch of kids like yelling and doing crazy stuff and you need to get places quickly, it's so easy to get in and out and get to where you need to film something or whatever you need to do.
Definitely a good coach's mum and dad binding.
yeah, but then, if you still want to rip around a little bit, you can.
Yeah, the classic with step-in is that it's a trade-off between performance and convenience. How did you feel about them in that sense?
I didn't really feel like it was a trade-off for performance. The one thing I would say is they feel a little bit heavier than your average binding. I'm not super sensitive to that, but if you were somebody that is sensitive to that, you might notice a difference.
And worth noting that they do a carbon version of it if you do want to shed a bit of weight. It will probably get a bit stiffer, but you can shed some of the weight with the carbon one. This one is 450 euros, $400 US. The carbon is 550 or $500, so a bit of a step up there. So plenty of positives, not too much of a trade-off with the performance. The idea that on these you can actually use them, if you are on something steeper or you're in deep snow, you can still use these like a classic ratchet strap binding.
Yeah, no, that was super nice because the first time I went to strap in on something a bit steeper, I was like, man, this is like impossible. Like, how do people get into step ins on something steeper? Then I was like, oh my God, I can just strap in normally. And that was really nice to realize that and still be able to do that, sort of use that hybrid system when it made sense, and then use the step-on when it makes sense.
That is a really important point, because one of the biggest criticisms leveled at step-ins previously has been that they're not for beginners, because you've got to be able to strap in standing up, balance the board, get the board on its edge. But a really well-rounded option for step-in then.
Yeah, because you can get off the lift and it's super flat, super easy place to strap in. You just click in super easily, and then if you're getting off the lift and you're trying to traverse, have to unstrap and then strap back in somewhere else, you can just use the other system and it's really easy to get in.
Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here, maybe unpopular, but I think if you're looking at the step-in bindings, you've got a far more versatile option in the Nidecker than you would potentially in the Burton step-ons. Agree, disagree?
I agree, definitely.
Okay, there you have it. The winner in the step-in battle, at least for now.
Well, at least that's what we're calling.